Hello everyone, my name is Christopher Coney, and this is my IMAPS and DNS report. Let's get started. So, the Internet Message Access Protocol, or IMAP, is a widely used application layer protocol that enables email clients to retrieve and manage email messages stored on a mail server. It was developed by Mark Crispin in 1986. IMAP allows users to access their emails from multiple devices while keeping their messages on the server until explicitly deleted by the user. This feature facilitates synchronization across various devices, ensuring that actions such as reading, deleting, or organizing emails are reflected in real time across all platforms. So IMAPS, or Internet Message Access Protocol Secure. IMAPS enhances the standard IMAP protocol by adding a layer of security through SSL TLS encryption. This ensures that the data exchanged between the email client and the server is protected from eavesdropping and tampering. The use of IMAPS is crucial in today's digital environment, where data privacy and security are paramount. Alright, so what ports should we use when configuring? IMAP operates over TCP/IP connections, typically using port 143 for unsecured connections. For secure communications, IMAPS utilizes port 993, providing an encrypted channel for data transmission. The protocol supports multiple mailboxes and allows users to manage their emails efficiently, making it a preferred choice for modern email services. Configuring Dovecat for IMAP and IMAPS on Linux. So, Dovecat is a popular open source IMAP and POP3 server for Unix-like operating systems. Here are some steps for configuring Dovecat for IMAP and IMAPS. After installing Dovecat, edit the Dovecat configuration file located in this directory to enable IMAP. Then you set up mail location, where you specify where Dovecat should look for user mailboxes. You can do this with this command here. Next, enable SSL TLS for IMAPS. Modify the configuration to enable SSL TLS by editing this directory here. And then you need to configure the ports. Ensure that Dovecat listens on the appropriate ports by editing this directory. And then lastly, restart Dovecat to apply the configuration. Alright, so hardening recommendations for Dovecat configuration. Use strong password policies. Enforce strong password policies by configuring password complexity requirements and expiration settings in this directory here. Next, limit access to specific IP addresses. So restrict access to your Dovecat server by allowing only trusted IP addresses in your firewall settings, or by configuring dovecat.conf with specific listening directives. And 3, implement fail to ban. Use fail to ban, intrusion prevention software framework designed to prevent brute force attacks, to monitor log files and ban IPs that show malicious signs of access attempts. This can be configured with rules specifically targeting Dovecat logs to prevent brute force attacks. The domain name system is a fundamental component of the internet, acting as a hierarchical naming system for resources connected to the web. It translates human-readable domain names like www.ksu.org into machine-readable IP addresses, enabling users to access websites without needing to remember numerical addresses. The DNS protocol operates mainly over UDP on port 53, although it can also use TCP for larger data transfers, such as zone transfers between DNS servers. All right, some key components of DNS. Servers. DNS servers. There are four main types of DNS servers. The recursive resolver. These handle queries from clients and retrieve answers from other DNS servers. The root name server. These direct queries to the appropriate top-level domains servers. The TLD name server. These manage the domain extensions .com, .org, .etc, and points to authoritative name servers. Authoritative name servers hold the actual DNS records for domains. Key components of DNS records. DNS records. These include various types of resource records, such as a record. These map a domain name to an IP version 4 address. The AAAA record. These map a domain name to an IPv6 address. A CNAME record. This is an alias for another domain name. And an MX record. This specifies mail exchange servers for a domain. Configuring DNS using IIS on Windows. So first, install the DNS server role. Open the server manager and click on Add Roles and Features. Select the DNS server and follow the prompts to install. Configure a new zone. Open the DNS manager from Administrative Tools. Right-click on Forward Lookup Zones and select New Zone. Choose Primary Zone and enter your domain name. Add resource records. Right-click on your newly created zone and select New Host A or AAAA. Then enter the host name and IP address. Then click Add Host. Hardening recommendations for IIS DNS configuration. Implement access control lists. You can limit who can make changes to DNS records by configuring appropriate permissions. 2. Enable DNS security extensions. These protect against certain types of attacks, such as cache poisoning, by signing your DNS records. And 3. Regularly update software. This ensures your Windows Server and IIS are up to date with security patches to mitigate vulnerabilities. All right, configuring DNS using bind on Linux. To configure DNS using bind, Berkeley Internet Domain name Berkeley Internet Name Domain on a Linux server, follow these steps. Install bind. And you can do that with these commands. Then configure the named.conf file. Then create the zone file with the necessary records. And then start and enable the bind service. Hardening recommendations for bind configuration. Restrict zone transfers. limit zone transfers to specific IP addresses to prevent unauthorized access to your DNS data. Enable logging. Configure logging and bind to monitor queries and responses for specific activity. And 3, use access control lists. Define ACLs in your configuration files to restrict who can query or update your DNS server. All right, everybody. Well, thanks for listening to my presentation.